just long time. Why now? Why during the pandemic she didn't come out and I listen them. So I really want to really respond to them because sometimes, boy, responding to a waste of time. I think I called yesterday, and he says some people say that Victor Roberts gone with the Indian party and Victor Roberts.
So I'll get some roti and thing, right?
Yeah, well, I have
we like that.
Boy, we have a course, Koki.
Shana
I have
and all. Yeah.
I have an individual, one of the
Yes.
the roti specialists in this country. He is prepared to come and teach
Yeah.
people in library
Okay.
the trade.
Well, that's good.
And it's a trade whereby they
Yes.
can make money.
Mm.
I mean, I hope they need all the profit because they like roti. They like roti Koki.
Yeah.
And this bring me to this. They like roti, they like everything they like. But anyhow, I go leave that day. But this man willing to come and teach this course in library.
Yes.
How to teach, how he want to teach the youths how to do the things so
Yeah.
they could also make a living, because that's a industry, Koki, where every holiday somebody looking to order something, somebody
Yes,
looking
and a lot
to
of
do
people
something.
buy the roti skins and things.
Yeah, somebody looking for it to
Yeah.
do a business, to eat
Yes.
a food. So this gentleman, but I yet to hear some of the people in library volunteer to learn.
Yes.
It's unfortunate. I remember in the days of my grandparents and even my parents, when a course like this, when somebody say, look, we could teach you how to do a little preservative and a little roti and thing, and to make kumara, polori, and it have a nice name for it, then mitai, like how we used to call it long time, right? Mitai. Jeffrey, you know it's mitai?
Nah, what is that?
Chili bee.
You know it's mitai?
Mitai?
Nah.
Yeah.
Ogo Koki, say no, nah, man.
I eat all them thing already, but I can't. Please.
Shame to say no.
Boy, it have a big sophisticated name that
I
they
see
call
the milky one or the.
kumara now.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, that is mitai.
What's the shape, eh? Some square, some round, some.
No, Koki.
Oh, mitai.
Koki, you know it's mitai? Come now, man. I go bring some mitai.
You had a bread.
Now, tomorrow, I think
Yesterday, Kuma.
tomorrow, Auntie speaks. Yeah, Kuma. That's what it is. Mitai is Kuma. That is the name for it.
Oh, kurma.
Yeah, that's the name for it.
I
Mitai,
never-
that's the home name for it.
I never know that, you know.
Like for instance, you know it's chili bibi.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the number one thing.
How you don't make chili bibi Koki, you know?
I think this grind up. Is it corn?
Well, it had a patch first. You just
Yeah,
grind
the
it.
patch it.
If you grind it just so you might make
That's
that
what I'm
corn.
saying, but it's corn, right? It's made out of corn.
Right.
So it have a, yes.
Right. So we getting somewhere.
Yes.
So all these courses and so on, I look at it and it's something that I'm thinking about for library.
That's good. What about a gardening course also? Learn to plant crops and.
That is important.
Yeah.
But let me just finish this point. Jeffrey, when was it you and I in library? That was what evening? What evening we was on with?
That was
Sunday or Saturday, right?
I believe it was Sunday.
Sunday evening? Sunday evening?
Yeah, Sunday.
When we was on the
Sunday.
block day talking with them fellas and
Yeah.
that day.
Nah, man. That was Monday.
Monday?
Yeah, that was Monday.
Right. So Monday we was on the block Corky. And one of the things that library produce
Pitch.
all the time, every
Okay.
time, is mangoes.
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 Plenty mangoes down there. Are coming down.
Corky, mango in library is round the clock.
You serious?
Yeah, I've been real.
Oh, yeah, coming
round the
down.
clock.
Mango
It had
is
no
my
season.
favorite boy.
It had no
It
season.
had no season for mango in library. Next thing library full of is tambran. You remember tambran ball and
Yeah.
tambran sauce and all that
Sweet
kind of
ones,
thing.
yes.
Right. And while we were on the block,
Yes.
we were speaking and we were looking at ideas. Jeffrey and myself, we were brainstorming.
Yeah.
What could we do other than just have these people sold mangoes on a daily basis?
Right.
And some of them sold mangoes daily. And we were saying, this should be an industry in Labre where Labre should at least have some sort of factory doing preservatives where we could package it, where we could have it shipped out. I remember there was a gentleman, I think still is, in the Los Bajo area, first Santa Flora, and this guy, we used to call him Papa Smurf. And I remember, Roy is his name, he would have people from the States placing the orders, and when they come down, they will come down and take up the 30, 40, 50 package of red mango and anchar and all these different type of preservatives and take it back to the States. A matter of fact, at one time, one of my family who live in Brooklyn, they used to do that business and make money off it. They will come down here, buy it for a certain price, and they will cut it outside, and they will make their dollars off it. And Labre is a place, and I don't know how the politicians have not utilized and capitalized on the natural resources in Labre. To develop Labre in one way, to develop the human aspect of Labre, and of course to have people train in these particular area, because let's just look at setting up a factory, Koki.
Yeah.
And a factory, a preservative factory, it will include a number of individuals, because we will have people who have to harvest the mango, right?
Yeah.
We'll have people when that harvest come into the factory, we'll have to have people there who will sanitize, do the necessary washing and preparing. We may very well have a machine to chop the mango, or we may have somebody operating that machine. So of course you're thinking in terms of having people train in a particular way also. Added to that, we will have different individuals who will have to deal with the processing part of the thing.
Yeah.
And then of course we may very well have a packaging machine in place. Of course we'll have people again trained to operate, and we could have this thing viable, Koki.
So is there a large mango field on there?
There's a large mango field in Trinidad. All over Trinidad have mango.
Yep. But the thing that specializes in Labre is that the mango that's bear right through the year. It has no season.
Okay.
And apparently like that is something with the pitch or some kind of thing. It don't stop there.
So we have to go and buy out everybody mango.
Right. So we'll have people who harvesting come in and come into the factory to sell this stuff.
Right.
All right. So I say that to say this: there will be a number of income, right, spreading throughout Labre, and not only Labre, other areas, because we may have people from up in the east who might very well bring mangoes. Truckload of mango going to be coming down.
Yes.
Right?
Contribute to the what you're forming.
So it will be a holistic
create some jobs.
And these are some of the things that we will have to do. I know my leader in particular, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, have some serious plans in terms of agriculture. And these plans, I am preparing a document where we will start to bring these plans to the forefront. And let me tell you what I mean. I know that most of the information, you could find it on the UNC website. But I want to do something different. And when I mean I want to do something different,
Yeah.
I want to have the information in the people's ears. I don't want to spend too much time with the people who may have to go and search, and the people who may very well not able to read. But I want to have it coming to the air, showing how Kamla Prasad Bisesa plan to diversify and how she intend to bring it down to you, the individual. And today I am the president of a particular agriculture society. Had a discussion, and he was saying that there is a lot of things that can be done where Trinidad and Tobago could feed itself, where we could provide food. And I always have a problem with why we have to buy or import what we could plant. Why we have to import? Why we have to import? When you look at the GDP in terms of what we bring into this country, Koki, why do we have to import what we could plant? What is tested and proven to be fruitful in Trinidad and Tobago. And these is things that we will have to get into. We will have to get back to the place where we are able to feed ourselves, because coming out of what is happening, I am hearing about a shortage of wheat that will very well affect the world. And we are not capitalizing on what is available right now. We're not capitalizing. And added to that, we at one time, we would have been producing our own sugar, Koki.
Yes.
And because of mismanagement by governments, we end up where the sugar factory no longer exists. So we import sugar. Now we used to plant cane. A matter of fact, I hear the leaders speaking about 2 parcels of land that belongs to Caroni 1975 Limited, where Foster Commons have a lot of equipment and so on, and the UNC is asking questions in terms of what is your equipment doing there, Foster Commons? How you come by this land, for starters? And while on that, is not only it is not only Foster Commons. It is not only Foster Commons. I am receiving some information that I'm working on to verify. And out of that, there is another minister who is purchasing a lot of properties in the Kuva district. A lot of properties. And even a large cross section of Caroni lands is also in the making. So these is things that we will stay on top. But coming back to the point is, we used to produce our own sugar. That is no longer here. All right? We have land in Trinidad and Tobago. We have good agriculture land. And we have to get back to the place where we are doing some level of farming where we could at least sustain ourselves before we even think about export and so on. We have to be able to sustain ourselves. We have to put the mechanism in place. We will have to, of course, put the necessary loans available. We'll have to, of course, also get the equipments in place and so on, because agriculture is not like long time a man take a brush and cutlass and he go down and he chop all day whap, you know. Everything computerized, everything is state of the art now. There's a lot of machine. I am trying to make a machine right now, Corky.
Yeah.
And I went on YouTube and I look it up. I am trying to make a machine to crack corn.
To crack corn.
Yeah, to crack corn. And I remember as a little boy, my father would have taken me to a man that they called Mr. Willie. And Mr. Willie had a mill. And you will believe that mill, they mount up that mill with a makeshift machine. Ta 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 ta. A belt going around here. So, and of course, they would have been grinding the corn. You would have get cracked corn. You would have get cornmeal. And I'm talking about right in Santa Flora, right by the flyover, right on the left-hand side of the flyover there. I think there was a copper there, you know, them big copper, Jeffrey. That was there until up to recently. Well, I think probably the scrap iron men maybe take care of that copper. Yeah. But all these is things that we will have to get back to, and these is plans that the government should be looking into at this point in time. Because you see, what will eventually happen is what is happening in the international community coming out of the pandemic, and of course what is going on between Ukraine and Russia and so on, and other parts of the Middle East. You will find that very soon we will not be able to get certain commodities from on the outside. And we must have a vision. We have to look in front. We must see what is happening outside and make preparation. And this is a clear case why I will always blame Keith Rowley and this health minister, Terence Dial Singh, and this government for the number of deaths we had as a result of the pandemic. Because while the pandemic, while the virus, as we know, was a brutal one, we are saying that we had enough time, Corky, to look into what was happening on the outside and make preparation. But you remember, it was like a joke. We had the minister saying, this thing might even reach here, and if it do reach here, it will not have community spread if we do get a case or two. And then we had the CMO under question and answer segment, who the whole bunch of idiots agree that it was not necessary to even have a debate and to put mechanism in place, so when the virus reached here, we would have been able to minimize the death. And that is on one hand. And then there's another bunch of illiterate idiots on the other hand, who will tell you that what all they wanted Rowley to do and what all they wanted the Dial Singh to do. Well, let me help all of this evening. What we wanted Rowley and Dial Singh to do was just to put the necessary mechanism in place, so that when the pandemic reached here, we would have been able to minimize the death of our loved ones. That is all. So back to Labre. I am saying there is a number of things that could happen in Labre, Corky, that Labre can benefit. We have some beaches that Jeffrey will tell you in the Labre area.
Yes.
We have some beaches, and those beaches is pretty alright beaches. Those beaches we can attract tourists in Labre. We have, I wonder if I should say we have. Anyhow, one of the world wonders in Labre. I think that is a better statement.
Yes.
Than to say we have a pitch league, right? One of the world wonders in Labre. We have a historical beach that is called Station Beach in Labre. What is so important about Station Beach? if you look at the history of Labray, you will understand that Station Beach at one time was what you can consider to be the marine capital of Trinidad and Tobago. We have had vessels, ships from all over the globe docking down at that area, because one of the things that we are also fortunate with is that we have a natural deep water harbor right in Labray. And we would have had ships from all over the world coming and participating in our wonder.
Oh, so they don't come anymore.
They're not coming anymore. They used to come at Station Beach, and you would have seen from the history, from my research, you would have seen ships line up waiting to receive the, if I should call it the, I know we call oil black gold, but this was greater gold. They come in the numbers, Corky, and purchase our pitch and take it throughout the world, places where we would have never, or places where we never set our feet, Corky.
So it's not for sale anymore?
Corky, that pitch lick is a whole story by itself.
I don't know.
That's a whole story by itself. But where we have never trod, our pitch is there.
They have pitch.
Our pitch, Trinidad pitch is there. And
it's not pitching nothing.
Here. It's not pitching nothing here.
Okay.
But out there internationally.
It's going outside.
Outside. And this is some of the things that Labray should be really benefiting from.
Right.
So our beaches in Labray, we have a sort of development at the Carrot Shed Beach. The area where the vote promise scheme, when they go through in the back of the in the back of the scheme and they go down on the beach, they have some old boat and thing packed up in the corner there. Right. Well, I think that area go back up and then come round to Vessanies where the imaginary dry dock supposed to go, right? But
so you have some big plans for Labray then?
Well, we are putting together some plans for Labray. And we are putting together, let me take back that. We are putting together some proposal for the people of Labray to examine, to vet, and also to have the say.
Right.
That is how we want to operate in Labray. We doesn't want the politician to come and tell us, we put in a cell tower here.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want that.
Right.
We do not want them to come and tell us that. We put in a cell tower.
Yeah.
We want to be able to get Labray involved. We want to be able to talk with the people of Labray. The people of Labray must have their say. And then from this holistic standpoint, we would be able to sit and to put things in place where we can materialize some of the ideas. That is how it must be done. We in Labray recognize our value. We recognize our value. Now, what we have done is that we have allowed the value of Labray to deteriorate simply because we allow a party to dominate Labray.
And how did they dominate Labray?
Well, they dominate Labray because the promises that they continue to bring to Labray, and mind you, while Labray vote on those promises, while they vote on those promises, what has happened over the years is that now it is something not to be proud of. Now, I use that as the opposite to what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It is something not to be proud of. But Labre have allowed themselves to be fooled. You watch me like a loss.
So how long has they been fooled now?
A decade. But Labre have allowed themselves to be fooled.
Right.
And the sad thing about it is that the people did not allow themselves only to be fooled by the politicians, but they also allow their forefathers, their mothers, their grandparents to fool them. Because, you see, let me open it up a little bit here now. When you look at Labre, when you look at the behavior of the people in Labre, you will understand that this is not something that happened overnight.
Yeah.
Now, some religious people will tell you about generational curse and so on and so on. I would not interfere with what people choose to believe on the religious aspect.
Yeah.
But this is a curse. It is a curse. It must be a curse. It have to be a curse. And I will tell you why. If you allow one generation to be fooled, if one generation is fooled, and then the second generation is fooled again, and then the children, the offsprings of that second generation
get fooled again,
still fooled at this point in time, then it have to be a curse. But where would it stop? How can it stop? It have to stop by education.
Yes.
It have to stop by education. It have to stop by somebody educating this generation as to the mistake of their forefathers, the mistake of their parents, and the mistake of themselves. And if you can put together that information to help the people to see. Jeffrey and I had a conversation coming up in the car, and we were speaking about political advisors. We were speaking about political advisors.
Yeah.
And we were looking at some political advisors have advised from the encyclopedia. They advise from the computer. In other words, they are not advising based on the core facts of the ground. They are not advising according to what is taking place on the ground. You see, one of the downfalls with us in this country is that sometimes we advise according to the international standard.
Yeah.
And while that is good, while we have to look elsewhere to fix our business here, at the same time, the advice must also be balanced. Yeah. Let me break that down a little bit. We cannot just take an advice from America and implement it in Trinidad without looking at the pros and cons, without looking at the advantage and the disadvantage. without looking at the effects, without looking at the positive or the negative. And sometimes we have advisors who only advise up here. When you advise up here, Corky, for some reason it cannot penetrate down there, and I'll tell you why. Because your advice was never coming out of the ground. And that is a problem we have with politics in Trinidad.
So I mean, it wasn't in the interest of the people.
Of the people. That is the problem we have. And we could look and see serious mistakes that prime ministers before make, simply because the advisors to these individuals, they advise from a more or less from a political science standpoint. And I'm saying all that must be part of the whole. But let me tell you something. The best advice that can work in your country is when that advice would be able to facilitate and to bring benefit to the ground. And without the ground, Jeffrey, I think we have a problem.
Yeah.
Without the ground, we have a problem. So these are some of the things that we want to do in Labre. We want to put those proposals on paper. We want to sell the idea to Labre, and we will solicit a response from Labre as to the way forward in terms of having it done. Caller, we will take your calls in a bit. We're going to the top of the hour. So after that, we will take your calls. So we want to be able, Corky, to put these things together and allow Labre to have their say in the way forward. Because we have seen that the government have no idea as to how to fix the problems, not only in Labre, but to fix the problems in the country. We go for the break and we'll be right back.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, hot like pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
Hello again. Here's a message from your friends at the castle, reminding you that this Mother's Day, we've got some great food for mom and the 6 sides and a 2-liter Coke to our delicious rotisserie chicken meals, our fantastic sandwiches, and more. Treat mom to the mouth-watering local flavor of Royal Castle and share some happy family moments. And remember, Royal Castle, it's our culture and our taste.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
They came in search of a better life, and they toiled in the sugarcane fields from dawn to dusk. Devoted to their tasks, they would become agents of transformation in their adopted homeland, producing in the passage of time generations of Trinbagonians who hold their own in many disciplines of life, including the arts. During Indian Arrival Month, MCTV pays tribute to these talented sons and daughters of our land in a weekly 1-hour show entitled Jahaji Sangam, a convergence of songs. Celebrate with us the Indian diaspora by homegrown Trindo talent. Saturdays at 8 during the month of May with me, Gideon Hanuman Singh, exclusively to MCTV.
The Local Palooza Show and Countdown. Now showing on MCTV. Hosted by TNT's rock ambassador, Bees Hi-Fi, the metal merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive. Rhythms Communications Network. Local Palooza Show and Countdown on MCTV. The Local Palooza Show and Countdown. Now showing on MCTV.
Answered Service Limited at 106 Egypt Main Road, Point Fortin, specialize in heavy, extra heavy lifting but not limited to civil and mechanical engineering, site preparation and earthworks, waste management services for non-hazardous material, land reclamation and land development, asphalt paving, supply of ready-mix concrete. We offer rental of most equipment such as crane, tractors, trucks, excavators, and much more. Happy Eid greetings to you and your family from the management of Answered Services Limited. May the day be a dawn of blessings, love, and peace in your life. Eid Mubarak. Please call us at 648-5777 or 648-2489 or email us at answeredservices@gmail.com. We lead, others follow.
No. Top Gear Auto Parts and Repairs, located at Southern Main Road, Couva, opposite the Anglican School. Top Gear specializes in tune-ups, injector cleaning, transmission flush, brakes and suspension repairs, vehicle diagnostics, wheel alignment, balancing, and all general auto maintenance. Call Top Gear on 271-6525. Top Gear, your one-stop shop at Southern Main Road, Couva, opposite the Anglican School.
Yeah, boy! I want a fast car. I want to get to anywhere.
Right, so we are back. Take this call. Let's see who calling.
Good night. Oh.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening to Brother Victor.
Yes, sir. Good day.
Corky and Jeffrey. Yeah. Yeah. I heard you were talking about Brea and the history of the Deepwater Harbor and so on. But as far as I could remember, growing up, that had two Deepwater Harbor. One was BP, then it Tesoro, and then you had Texaco. Now, the one at Brighton, Brighton Deepwater Harbor, I think was the deepest, the more to accommodate bigger vessels and so on.
Yeah, natural deepwater,
Right, natural Deepwater Harbor. And then you had BP on the other side. A lot of big vessels used to be accommodated down at BP also, but Brighton, you had one side there were crude oil. The tankers used to come and take, and also the other side used to be asphalt pitch. Right? They used to have something called the bucket on line, used to run from the plant directly down to the ship at the jetty and offload these pitch in barrels. And in that damn times, there were plenty employment because they had the guys used to come and roll the barrel, and there was a lot of employment then at that time. But as time goes along, everything came and it, it just everything gone through, right? And what had happened with asphalt, that was the English. They had a manager, I think, called Bennett. He, I think, did stockpile a lot of pitch in England, and that pitch could have supplied the whole European market for a number of years. So that in itself come and hamper lake asphalt, operation and so on for a while. But over the years, even up to this recent time, I think his bad management had plagued the company, so because they were become Trinidad Lake Asphalt in 1975. I think around the same time with Caroni. Yeah, because Caroni, I think, was Teeth and Lie before Caroni. Right. So those are what I can remember growing up. And them was those golden times in this area here, Library.
Yeah. But Kola, let me ask a question as we on that. What do you see? What do you see at this point in time that we could do in Library to bring Library to the point where it can sustain itself?
Yeah, well, it could with proper planning, and it have the resources like the mango you talk about. I mean, there's no shortage of that.
Right.
There's a lot of mango could be packaged. It have other fruits too, like the sour cherry. That waste. You see that wasting all about. That also could be, packaged and export, and a lot of things. But it comes down to the people and proper planning. The people have to be ready to harness that opportunity, and with proper planning and so on, I think it could work. It will take some time and planning, but as everything else, proper planning and it will work.
Yes.
But you must give it a try.
Right.
All right.
They say it's better to try than fail to try. So that is a good initiative. In the pipeline.
I appreciate that, Kola. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So take care and all the best.
Thanks a lot.
Right.
Yeah. And Mr. Victor, where does the government come in this?
Right. So I'll answer you after we take this call.
Take it.
Welcome,
Hello.
Kola.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good day. Cascade song like.
Cascade, yeah.
Yeah.
Cascade.
Much greetings to the radio station.
Yes.
And you, the lifeline at Trinidad and Tobago.
What? You're big in
But I'm telling you, don't tell me that.
Big position,
Don't tell me nothing about that. I went to Matua today, and my partner tell me, say, hear this man talking on the radio about education. They say, Daddy, who is that man speaking there on the behalf of the students? Do you know how far? He telling me, well, I went up the other day, try and continue. Because in the 1970s, my brethren, Trinidad and Tobago, children came out on the street and marched for betterment in school, and Eric Williams threw tear gas on them.
Yeah.
But I asked, what?
Yeah, the history there.
I was out there.
Yeah,
when they leave the school, children run away from school and came out in the streets and protest for betterment in the school of Trinidad and Tobago. And today you denying children the right to have a laptop when a minister, because she do nothing yet, nothing wrong yet,
Yeah.
My sister Kamala give every child a laptop. Good evening to Miss Julin John, my sister. Every child got a laptop in Trinidad and Tobago, and a wicked man take it away from them. You know what he do there? He deny you the right to learn and be prosperous in life, to maintain your own livelihood. That is what the PNM has done to my children of Trinidad and Tobago. In the 1970, we marched the street to let Eric Williams get rid of Tate and Lyle, which was the Soviet, the European Union, and bring sugar, oil, gas under economical structure of the people. And today we don't have anything, the PNM, the Pitch Lake, everything, get rid of. We must rise up, irregardless. I don't care about Heinz and wake up about the stabilizer. I don't care about he at all. He could send them to kill me, he could send them to lock me up. But again, you can't jail me from a defiance because somebody is going to educate the masses. And the masses have to rise up and take the rightful role. Thanks to Sister Kamala for joining the protest. Don't mind them about trying to destabilize country. It's the pressure in the barrel where they bust the pipe, and that's what they can't take right now. Good evening again to Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
What the man standing strong, boy.
Thank you.
Yeah, the government, shouldn't the government be doing something?
I will answer that after this call.
This call. Yes. Hello.
Hey, Victor, good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
And good night to, again, the indomitable Corky.
Yes.
Yes,
you know,
BB.
I have to say, yesterday, you know, after our good protest, I saw on the ground David Naked as well as the counter Prakash Barada. They were on the ground in the Ozamville district of Tunapuna. And that is to just say that the UNC is on the ground. And I was very proud to see them walking the district, speaking with person. So when people are saying, well, I ain't seeing nobody, I ain't seeing no UNC person, well, you have the evidence right there. And you touched on some nice points there. You know, you talked about Tate and Lyle. You made me remember my grandfather. My grandfather actually worked in Tate and Lyle when it was in the name Tate and Lyle. And then it moved to Carney 1975 Limited. And you know, a gentleman touched a point there, and we have to say that you have an administration led by Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, right? And I have to ask the public of Trinidad and Tobago. No, I just ask, can you name me one thing that this government has done? I joined your show late, so I'm not sure what the topic you are on. But I think this is a relevant issue to raise. Because under the People's Partnership, we can see what was done by Kamla Prasad Bisesa. We can see, for one, the Children's Hospital, which it took a pandemic for this government to raise, to open. They did the San Fernando Teachers Hospital. They did the sporting complex. They did in Sanky Grande, the sporting complex there as well. So that's just a few to say, well, what this government did under Kamla Prasad Bisesa. But Victor, you see, I'd like to hear people. I'd like to hear because people say, boy, this government doing plenty, boy. But I just say, well, besides raising gas 4 times, besides putting on taxes upon you, besides trampling on your rights,
yes,
what has this government done?
You guys probably got some weed trees.
Well, yeah. I mean, I listened to the debate in Parliament. Well, the member of Parliament, Komoto Manson, who gave an exceptional contribution to the Parliament today. And I listened to the then Attorney General, because, you know, he's acting AG right now. He must be begging, you know, God, boss, they make me acting at least now. Right? I'm sorry, that's a sorry excuse for an Attorney General anyway. And today they were talking about in the Parliament. Victor, is it okay if I talk about it?
Yeah, go ahead. Again, you have 5 minutes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, the government has brought to the Parliament, as you know, they're looking to have an authority to basically approve if persons want to basically deal with medicinal marijuana, right? But you have a man who was then Attorney General, and all he's talking about was that they decriminalize, but maybe Faris Arawi needs to get back in the court and see for a fact that there are people still being held under the legal limit which is being allowed with 30 grams and less. And people are still being brought to court on that. And then it takes lawyers like myself have to represent these young men and even women. And you have to tell the court, well, you know, why is he here? When it has been brought under the legal limit. So, I mean, Paris needs to get with reality, which he is failing to do. And I will close with this, my friend, that the People's National Movement, under Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, has done absolutely nothing to better the lives of Trinidad and Tobago. And I open the challenge for somebody to tell me, what have they done to better your life? How many jobs have they created? What building have they done? None. I am saying I have seen none. I'm open to be corrected. This government has failed. With its spying on us. And Victor, next week I'll be on your show.
Beautiful.
And we will take it from there, my brother.
Beautiful. Thank you, baby.
Yeah. So shouldn't all these natural resources we have here, shouldn't the people should be benefiting and like pitch?
They have to be benefiting, but welcome, Kola.
Hello.
Mr. Victor.
Yes, sir.
And to Corky. Mr. Jeffrey, blessed night to you all.
Yes, good night.
You see the problem in this country and in the world today. The Americans, they're going around the wrong table again today. And if you hear the speech of the Prime Minister, like he could talk to America how he wants. If you cannot look after the Caribbean, who will look after you? Are in trouble. So you better come and fix me, you know. You see what they do in Venezuela? It affects us. America put Venezuela and close them off the map. We come and we suffer under the consequences of that Petrotrend went through. We had business with Venezuela.
Right.
Prime Minister still meddling with them. And he opening legs so wide, 1 foot with the Russian and 1 foot going over to the Americans. He has to understand. They could send one missile and kill everybody. Not a building a breaking.
We got 2 more calls coming in. Yeah.
All right. You see the problem? We have to understand. And one thing Mr. Gideon Hanuman Singh said, I listened to this, the Indians come for a better life in Trinidad. They fool them and they tell them that never come. Before they come, they bring the Barclays Bank before the Indians come here. But they fool them, they catch them and they send them. When they see where they come to playing sugar, they didn't come to playing sugar, they come to slave down here and the balance went to man some stay. Have a blessing, wonderful night to one another.
Okay. We got some calls.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. Next call.
Welcome, Kola.
Hello. Good
Yes,
night.
sir. Good night, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. You know what? These people in China, some of them remind me of the Israelites. You know scripture very well what went on there with them. Don't matter what God tried with them and Moses, right? They defied him from even seeing the promised land. I can understand how these people just hold on to PNM all these years and suffering. I just can't understand. You're doing a great job. You're an
Jeffrey, Anil, Corky,
yes,
and
that's
the
right.
team.
And not for God, these people not trying to turn around and to live a better life. What is really wrong with them? We in Tobago doesn't want no part of Rowley. Not even Satan wants Rowley.
Wow.
Yeah. You have a good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for calling. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, if Satan refusing Rowley and we accepting him here, well, then we worse than Satan, boy.
Next call.
Welcome, caller.
Hello, Mr. Robert. Good night to you.
Good night, ma'am.
Jeffrey and to Corky.
Yes, good night.
I want to talk about Mr. Fitzgerald Hines tonight.
Go ahead.
I hear him on the media saying all the what they call them they had on Tuesday, right? But all the placards and all everything they had there was disrupting the traffic and they was burning tires. Mr. Roberts, anybody come and tell you anything about people seeing they was burning tires?
No.
I didn't see every clip, but I saw a lot of the clips from it. And I didn't see no tires burning. I didn't see no disruption. So I don't know what the hell is talking about.
Yeah, he mad.
Yeah, and now he run out the country just like a leader. He going to hide.
Yeah.
So we're not here to me to tell him what I have to tell him.
He go
You
here.
all have a
He
good
go here.
night.
Thank you.
Good night. All right.
Thank you. He will hear you because the tape in the conversations. He will hear you.
Yeah.
Welcome, caller.
Good night, Mr. Robert.
Yes, sir.
And
good night.
everybody in the Now, how to help the people in Labre? They have to help their own self. For 40 years, they vote one way. Voting has consequences all the way. People talk to them. People campaign, they talk, they try to help. They have one mindset. They want to vote one way. It has consequences. Now you get your vote out, you get computer, food, books, transportation for school. You vote out that. You don't want to change. Trinidad is for everybody. Why we have to put a special help for them? Them want to be so. Them and the people in the beta over wasting time. We wasting time. We cutting the fit for them and them don't want to help themselves. Voting have consequences. They have. Sorry to say so, but why we have to give them special attention now? They're getting it all the time, them want it. It have consequences.
Yeah.
Pension raise. We come out in government. They go on back, they want to go that way. Sorry to say so, but election have consequences.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Yes. Next call.
Welcome, caller.
Good night,
Good night, sir.
Mr. Robert. Good evening. New York here in the house.
Yes, sir.
Right, listen, boy. When you talk about a sort of narcissistic sociopath, is them PNM ministers, especially that one they call Heinz, boy. Why that man is so unpatriotic to the people of Trinidad and Tobago? First he say what he's not responsible for the security of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, what kind of Scottish Minister of National Security will think like that? So he's not responsible for nobody's security in the country, not even the infrastructure of the country.
No, he's not. Yeah.
Just think about it, even for the infrastructure of the country. So let me suppose now, some fellas, we don't wish bad because I love my country with all due respect. I still have my business, home and things. My question is that, will somebody go down and blow up the and take on writing road? He ain't responsible for that. The box stops with him. He's the Minister of National Security, and according to what the young lady just said a while ago, right? Yesterday there was even the CTPL, who's under his watch, even the Department of Human Resources, the Communication Department, they said that there was not even one arrest in the peaceful protest that the USC put out yesterday. Let me tell you something, brother. I don't appreciate the say. I'm a PNM card holder. I'm a PNM card holder. But I just saw you say a PNM card holder. I tell Anil what night it was. I say, boy, Anil, I talk about Anil, I'm a PNM card holder. Say, no, boy. Boy, bond that thing now, boy.
All right, we got some more calls. 2-3 calls.
All right, have a blessed month to you guys and be safe out there. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you, caller.
Next call. 218-7762. Yeah.
Welcome, caller.
Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night. Yes, sir.
Cocky.
Yes.
Jeffrey. Report here, boy.
Yes, report.
Here what going on. These people and them want to kill you. In an Indian woman to better the country. And then same people want to kill you. You know they're looking for Indian wife, whether they ugly, they fat, they thin, they black, they whatever.
But one thing I can never understand when people call and say, these people, who are we talking about?
The people who complain about you.
Who complain about me?
Yes, and they're telling you you're following an Indian?
Yeah, man, that they work, let they complain. That don't
right?
That don't make one here on me green and I have a few.
I know that, but I'm just telling you, them doing the same thing, and they vex with you.
Whether
right?
Them
Look,
could vex
today,
some now until Christ come.
Today I went by my mechanic, and I was talking to a man. You know, a man justifying the rise of gas. Someone agree that we had to pay more for gas, boy. We had
You know why he agree? No, he agree because he still carrying your car by heat of fix.
No, not the electrician, not the mechanic. Somebody come to fix.
Oh, somebody who come to fix.
Yeah. We own raw material. We own refinery. We own gas, oil, everything. Now we have to buy it. And he's saying that is justifiable. I don't know where these fellas them get a sense from.
Thank you, caller. Check your pocket, you go see PNM party card.
One thing again, when you talk about the agriculture, if you want to do agriculture down in your area, you have to get a bulldozer and start to push down forests. Then when you push down the forest, you have to move out the logs and then tilt the land. You know upon which side? Any day you make a mistake and say, Freeport are coming to meet you, I will show you land. All you need is a brush cutter, left it lay dry about 2-3 days, light it on fire, you plow, you prepare and wait for rain. That's all.
More calls
and
coming.
plenty land, plenty, not 2 and 3 acres.
So you're getting some land, Victor.
Thank you, Freeport.
Hey, if Victor want to come up here, he go get a place to live too, you know.
All right.
Freeport, we go talk with her. Bye-bye.
Okay, yeah. What?
Freeport, you want my
yes,
wife to
next
leave me?
call, next call.
Welcome, caller.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, it's me again. What happened? The sugar industry. Well, it come and close. You had 2 factories, Bridgeton Castle and using St. Madeleine. What they could have done is leave one of the sugar factory. They didn't want to close the 2.
Right.
Right. That sugar now we could have produced enough sugar for the local market, and we could have export the balance, you know. And I mean, it could have created employment also. Because if you look at Guyana still, I mean, they still have the sugar industry together with the rice, right? And they come and get oil now, so they in a position that they could feed themselves because they have the lands available, right? But we stepping backwards all the time. You have a wonderful night.
Thank you, brother.
Serious thing, boy.
Yeah,
Victor.
and he's right. You know,
So
he's
many.
right. Welcome.
Good night, gentlemen.
Night, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, listen, we could and we should and we would. I then realize that this man don't want to do nothing for the people in this country. Right? He's just running everything into the ground and selling and pocketing money. Right? We paying health surcharge, we paying NIS, we paying PAYE. Right? We paying tax on everything in the grocery. We paying an extra 10% on the pump all the time. Where that money going? Now I hear them saying on Aisha, well, it's 4 quarters on a liter of gas. It's not 4 quarters. When you put 10 gallons of gas in your car, it's $40 more. Right? These people, they never do maths in school. They can't count. Aisha, what is a clown? Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes,
Thank you, caller.
Next call, we have a next call coming in. All right, we lost that one. Let's take the next call. 218-7762. Yes.
Welcome, caller.
Good night, Corporal.
Yes,
and
sir.
Jeffrey and Clocky.
Yeah, good night.
The reason why that was on Caroni, it was Mr. Baldev Panda that said I see Indian voters and I see support. The reason why that was on the petroleum refinery is because Shell and the Laura Manatee field it has so much gas. In a deal for $150,000 US that we get to give people for education, and where the rest of money going in the pocket. And yes, Mr. Victor, the cottage industry, you see what people don't understand, that people need a little help, a little push. So when they get financing, it's available as a cooperative. You form yourself into a cooperative, you look for outside market to get sustainability, because the EMED was doing it with the pepper plants and them getting pepper. So we could do it, but it's just that people to come forward, because you know why? African people must not get a share.
But in the whole about it, he had to serve everyone. It's just like what they're not giving back to the people. The government is keeping everything and selling out. And if it's real hands on them, Jacob, all of them, just protecting the thieves and them. Have a nice day.
Yes. 2187. Yes.
Thank you, caller.
And
And I think
my gosh, the call.
welcome, caller.
Hello.
Good night, Victor.
Good night, sir.
Hello.
Yes. Good night to the ardent listener who are locked on always.
Yes.
I want to send a message. Please, with no remorse, discourse, hatred, malice, and envy to the African diaspora. How come with the suffering in the country or not coming out? Are only looking for the other races to come out, defend, where all they getting money from to support all this? Is it a secret deal that all they getting money to shut all them out and stay down? And other people in the country are coming out to talk. Why all not coming out? Why all is silent? And people are suffering and hurting. I don't like that. All they come out say something. Or all they are being paid to be silent. And listen to me, you know. I'm coming for you. Hard. I thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming hard, boy.
Coming hard.
These days,
Come out.
These days, my caller,
Yeah.
my caller,
And he's short to the point.
shooting
yeah.
bullet these days. You know.
What?
He's shooting me playing these days. You know. He's shooting scatter shot.
Yeah.
Welcome, caller.
Good night, caller.
Gentlemen, good night.
Good night, sir.
A caller, two callers before this one saying why they closed down Carney. Well, if you can remember, Mr. Roberts, when Ramnath, the deceased Ramnath, may God rest his soul in peace, when they closed down Carney, they said in a basement on Tragarit Road, Rahal was saying a bust 10,000 Indian troops. So how they going to? They must close down the two sugar mills in order to break the Indian back. That's what he say.
Right.
That is why they close it down, because and then they come with an excuse that Carney were losing money. That's a damn lie. Because when they take over Carney from Tate and Lyle in 1975, they put people there who never see a school to be managers. They give them Carney managers home over $100,000 pay. They're getting gas money, traveling money, this money. When they check up for the month, some millions going in pay. The company was top heavy because Eric Williams pack a set of people in the administration. How you gonna make money? So he put it in a way they will lose money, and the same thing they do with Wassa. That's why Wassa always losing money. The people they paying on top, they don't know the job. They just put them there because either financiers or friends. And that's the same thing they do with Carney. Well, Petrotrin is because to save a partner from a jail and himself, they close down Petrotrin. Have a nice night, gentlemen.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Serious, boy.
And you see, this corner make me get hot.
Yes.
I'll get hot right now. Hot. Hot
What?
like fire.
Yeah.
And this is...
Let me take this one.
Dig this caller. Dig this. Welcome, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Yes. It's on douglAR Politics tonight.
You're on douglAR Politics, sir. Hello.
Hello, yes. And Roberts not coming on.
Yes.
No,
Arnold Roberts is here.
Anil not on tonight.
This is Mr. Victor Roberts.
So you know, Roberts not on tonight.
No, sir.
Yeah. My gosh. On Fridays, huh?
No. Today's supposed to be douglAR Politics. I forget to announce that.
Oh, okay,
My
good.
apology that
Right.
there will be no douglAR Politics tonight. My apology.
No douglAR Politics tonight. All right, so he going.
Right, so let me get serious here now. Now what? Can't get serious here.
Just take this call.
Welcome,
Hello.
caller. Hello?
No appearance. Somebody calling hang up there. Yes, go ahead, Victor.
Right, so there is no douglAR politics tonight. My apology, I should have announced it earlier on.
So what is it we have tonight?
We're going straight with the douglAR radio until 9.
Right, good. So that's
my apology, Trinidad
Right.
and Tobago. It really slipped me.
Oh, so the guy say 7:39 and he was
course,
one. Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes,
Now I
yes.
get
So,
it. Yeah.
I really humbly apologize for
Okay.
not making that announcement.
Okay.
But the caller before, let me come to that here now. And
Yes.
caller, I want to tell you something.
Right.
That conversation that is alleged to have take place in the basement, I heard of it also. I heard of it also. You see, in this country, the problem that we have in this Trinidad and Tobago is that we the people, allow the politicians to make decisions that not only damage us, but damage our children and grandchildren. You see, when we allow the politicians to make a decision, and they could conspire and laugh and say, we break the Indian back, or we break the Indian support, or we break whatever they want to break. The problem is that they break Trinidad and Tobago future.
Yes.
That is what it is. And this is why I will continue to advocate for a different kind of politics in this country. The politics that I am advocating for in this country is to put country first. Put country first. And if we put country first, Trinidad and Tobago will not stand up and let any government make a decision that will interfere with the future generation of our country. That is what we all are guilty of, allowing politicians to make decisions in favor of themselves and not in the favor of the country. And that is what have to change. That is what have to change. We must stand up as a people in this country. And that is why we are saying that we are going to Labre. You see, and let me say this one time. Labre could vote PNM till the dead, you know, because let me tell you why. As far as history, as far as productivity, as far as development, Labre is already dead. They're already dead. So if they want to stay and remain dead, then they could continue to collect the embalming fluids from the PNM. They can do that too. But we will fight for the young generation. And Corky was asking a pertinent question.
Yes.
A pertinent question. And this is the role that we must hold the government account to do their job. When we speaking about developing, whether it is in the preservative business, or a matter of fact, any industry that Labre sees as an avenue for development, the government have a responsibility to invest in what Labre bring to the table as an investment in order to develop Labre. We have allowed governments to pamper, to mamagai, to papi show. And we have to stand now. One of the greatest downfall in this country that we call Trinidad and Tobago is that we have never advocated for the Constitution to be taught in school. We have never advocated. So when the politicians refuse, or without vision, or for a better word, when the politicians want to deceive a country, there is things that they will hide from the country. And if the Constitution were taught in our classroom, we would have never remained quiet today when we see the president, the prime minister, and a whole commission abuse their power, misuse the constitution, flaunt it, drag it, and the country remains silent. You know why the country remains silent? Because the country dunce to what should have happened when this occurred from the highest office in our land. The country is uneducated on constitutional matters. And those who are educated in the Jeffrey, they play political games for position, so they will make a deal behind the door. You think some of them ain't call Rowley? You think some of them ain't call the president? You think some of them lords ain't call? But guess what? Guess what? That call will not be in the interest of democracy. Those calls will be in the interest of individuals. Those calls will be, Prime Minister, this could capsize your government. Prime Minister, if we come public, you will have to call an election. And what you expect would be the return comment to that. What do you expect it to be? Go ahead and go public? It will be, come and see me. Let's have a conversation. That is what it will be. And that is why you could see reshuffling. That is why you could see all kind of thing happening. Because these people does not have the interest of you, the citizens, at heart in any way whatsoever. So the Constitution must be taught in school. Must. I hear a big idiot, a real old idiot, stand up on a platform and talk about it make no sense if you move Rowley and put Kamala is the same thing. A big, dotish idiot that they have for a trade union leader. An idiot, I'm telling you, stand up in Edinburgh 500 and talk that barrel of tutu in people's ears. I sure the corporation went in active mood when he done talk. I sure all them toilet truck ready to suck he in, because that is what he talk. Number two, and this is what we just get from those who disguise as PNM, those who disguise and want to make you believe that they're representing your interests. This is how they perform. I am saying that Michael Anisette is a dunce trade union leader, no vision, and that is why or you could never go further in this country. When you could stand up and make those kind of idiotic statements in public, I am saying to you, my little 10-year-old son, he already educate himself to understand when a man is an idiot. And that is why Rowley did all that he wanted to do with all of the trade union leaders, because all of you hiding behind Badize and jumping out and making people believe that all you want to represent them. All you want to represent any people, you, Judy Charles, Roger, all of you have a right to go, resign. All you fail, all you is failure, and all you will continue to be failure. And I will challenge all you anytime, anywhere, anytime, because it is failure. You hear what I'm saying? So the Constitution must be taught in school. That is one. Two, we must bring this country back on the path of Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Kamla had placed education on the front, the behind, the center, and every burner on the stove. Every burner. You know why? Let me tell you why today. Because it is only education that can move you, the people, out of poverty. Education is the passport to prosperity. And when I say education, I am speaking about every aspect of education. Every aspect. And this is what have to happen in order for people to know the failure of the PNM. This is what must happen for people to know if the UNC have their interests at heart, and if the UNC is the party to run this country. It is education. Because with education, people could now make decisions based on information. But under the PNM government, while they tell you that education is in the book bag, there is where they want to keep it all the time, in the book bag and not in your brain. And that is why when you go and vote, you vote out of the book bag, not out of the book. Because if you was voting out of the book, ladies and gentlemen, you would have seen, you would have understood without a shadow of a doubt that the policies that Kamala put in motion, it was the indeed and in fact the policies to move you forward. And when you move forward, it is then and only then the country could move forward. The country cannot move forward with a selective few of educated individuals. That is a recipe for corruption, for nepotism, for cronyism, and for dictatorship. Because you are so uneducated in terms of your rights in this country that when you stand up peacefully to protest, which is your right according to section 4, 5, and 6 of the Constitution, when the police come, you run because you are not educated. You do not know your own rights. You do not know what is your freedom. You do not know what are your choices. And therefore, without acknowledging, without knowing, then you will only be intimidated and you will not be able to stand up for your rights. You will not. And that is why education must be the passport in this society. And we must now take that from a tender age in order to change the diaspora. We must take it from a tender age. We are now seeing in the schools what is happening. We are seeing the deterioration of what is supposed, what is or what's supposed to be an educational system, an educational college, an institution that should be peaceful. We are seeing riots. We are seeing violence. A matter of fact, in some schools, it is $5 for a kiss and $10 for a squeeze. That is what it reached to. I was shocked when my son tell me today, Daddy, things really, really, really bad. Really bad. And that is what we continue to encourage. You know why? These children have to take $5 for a kiss. Young girls. And $10 for a squeeze. Young girls. You know why? Ask Rowley why. Ask Imbot why. Ask Stuart Young why. Ask Faris why. Ask Brian Manning why. Ask Beckers why. Ask all of them why our children have to reach to this stage. You want me tell you why today? Let me tell you why. You see, why some idiots jump on, let me go there, why some people stand up and defend this grab of inhumane human beings outside. Young girls have to do what they have to do to get what they have to get. Let me break it down further. I know parents used to provide for the young girl children. My father, with the little he have, let me tell you what used to happen before he died. My father will take his last cent to ensure that his daughters have everything necessary as young ladies to take care of themselves. Everything. Every month, he will ensure that they can manage and take care of themselves. Today, ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing a parent in this society today would not do to help his children. But you know what happened? This government have break the backs of the parent by locking off, by retrenching, by firing, by closing down. They have destroyed the family. So today, young girls, you will be amazed to know what young girls doing to survive. A man meet me the other day and offer to sell me if I am interested in buying some CDs, some blues. And all I know what blues mean. I ain't talking about pink and red and green. I'm speaking about blues. And all I know what it mean. And you know what he's saying? He says young girls and them girls 14, 15, 16. He said they're performing because they getting paid to perform. That is what this country going through. So when you could send your child to school and they cannot provide a meal, they start to tell the boys it's $5 for a kiss and $10 for a squeeze. You know a squeeze and what? You feel like talking about Jub. I ain't talking about Diana Jub, you know. I ain't talking about that. That is what is happening in our educational system. That is what is happening. We have seen brutal attacks on each other, frustration. I am telling you, in Sipa West now, there are students who dip in their hands and searching other students, searching to see who have money, and on top of that, they are threatening you and telling you, if you complain to the teacher or you complain to your parents, we will deal with you. A matter of fact, in the gangster term, they say we go fix your boy. And everybody know what fix mean. That is what is happening. There is children who have to sell marijuana in school. I am saying selling marijuana in school to make $1. You hear what I'm saying? To make $1. And that this is what will happen when we have idiots like Heinz and them who believe that everything in this country is some kind of racial old talk. When they believe that they could puppy show and fool the country. When we have Prime Minister like Rowley, who concerned only with what he decide to do and what he believe is law, and he must implement what he feel, and nobody back. Everybody have to adhere to what he say. Well, I want to tell Rowley tonight that there is people like me and others who will stand in defense of this country and stand in defense of democracy, no matter what it costs. And while on that, I want to remind Rowley, I want to remind him, when they shoot me in 2016, Rowley said before the week done, he will tell the country why I get shoot. I call it on you from since 2016, Rowley, to tell the country why I was shot on a motorcade. I call it on you, tell them, because if I had died, you people in Trinidad, all you would have believed what Rowley say. But I'm alive, so he cannot lie on me. He cannot lie. That is why he can't talk. And we in this country, we have accepted so many lies, so many hypocrisy, so many deceit, and we are so deceitful on top of that, that we allow our children to be deceived by what we know is a lie. Jesus, Lord, how evil could we be? We allow, or we are allowing our children to be deceived by what we know as a blatant lie in this country, that the PNM care about you. That the PNM care about you. Parents, you know that is a lie. You know that is a deception. You watch your life. Watch your life. And I call it on anyone earlier. Tell me, show me, prove to me that the PNM care about this country, and then from tomorrow I is a PNM. Prove to me that this PNM care about Trinidad and Tobago, and tomorrow I is a PNM. You see, that is the kind of wickedness that we endure in this country. All you know for yourself, all you see for yourself, that between 2010 and 2015 is the better days all you had in this country. From every aspect, from every quarter, all you was enjoying a better life. Work was running, education, sport, everything up and running. And here what all you do, all you seeing what is happening now, and this country quiet. Heinz, let me tell you something one time. Let me tell you one time, with your gray hair, halfway rasta. Let me tell you one time, you Heinz, you is not an easy fella. I remember that a poor boy asked you for a few dollars. You remember that, Heinz? A boy. You remember? And what you do? What you said to him? And all you holding down ministries, and all you want people to believe that all you care. I remember, Heinz, you say that some Rasta man, some boy, you feel you could have cut off his dreadlocks. You remember that? But Trinidad does forget quick. We is a 9-day wonder. But let me tell you something. It has some people. We don't remember only for 9 days. And we will bring it in all your ears until all you get sick. You know why? Because all you're supposed to be sick at the decision all you're making in this country, and having all your daughters telling the schoolboys 5 for a kiss and 10 for a squeeze. All your wicked parents. All your wicked parents. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because reality, I always tell all you, I just deal with facts. I bring it raw. Who can take it? Turn off the radio. Come off of Facebook, because you can't turn me off. You cannot turn me off, and you can't lower me down. So who feel like a shout? Buy a hearing aid and lower it down to 0. And you will still hear me hard. You know why? Because that is what the facts does do. It does hurt your ears. And I want to hurt all your ears. Because all you hurting this country, all your voters hurting this country, because all you're seeing things through a lens. And all you don't want to take it off to see it clear. I will hit all it clear. This is what happening in this country. So we're going to open back the phone lines after the break. We're going to go up for the break, and then we go come back. I want this to soak in, light soak in, and we will come right back.
Hello again. Here's a message from your friends at the castle, reminding you that this Mother's Day, we've got some great food for mom and the whole family. From the fantastic family meal with 12 pieces of chicken, 6 sides, and a 2-liter Coke, to our delicious rotisserie chicken meals, our fantastic sandwiches, and more. Treat mom to the mouth-watering local flavor of Royal Castle and share some happy family moments. And remember, Royal Castle, it's our culture and our taste.
Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Join me, Anthony Jules, on Late Nights with Jules, only on MCTV. New guests every week, activity, games, hot topics, a lot of discussions. You don't want to miss it. Tune in and join me only on MCTV, 9 p.m. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Calling every human. Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Sport is in trouble. What can be done to save sports in TNT? Join host Gordon Pear on Sports Insight every Monday and Wednesday on MCTV from 4:30 p.m. as he identifies the problems, look for solutions, and points the way forward. Sports Insight, where we talk to the coaches, athletes, administrators, and of course, you the fans, as we bring positive change through sport.
They came in search of a better life, and they toiled in the sugarcane fields from dawn to dusk. Devoted to their tasks, they would become agents of transformation in their adopted homeland, producing in the passage of time generations of Trinbagonians who hold their own in many disciplines of life, including the arts. During Indian Arrival Month, MCTV pays tribute to these talented sons and daughters of our land in a weekly 1-hour show entitled Jahaji Sangam, a convergence of songs. Celebrate with us this merging of skills of the Indian diaspora by homegrown Trindo talent. Saturdays at 8 during the month of May with me, Gideon Hanuman Singh, exclusively to MCTV.
Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
The Local Palooza Show and Countdown.
Now showing on MCTV.
Hosted by TNT's rock ambassador, Bees Hi-Fi, the metal merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive. Rhythms Communications Network. Local Palooza Show and Countdown on MCTV. The Local Palooza Show and Countdown.
Now showing on MCTV.
Mr. Big Man wants to be richer, while the poor man slave and suffer, but that can't work. To be poor is a crime. Man, I feel know that in a this your time. Oh yeah, man, please, what if they treat is hard?
Poor people fed up, fed up.
Well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down the country demolition, man.
Victor Roberts. Welcome back. So we open the line 218-7762. We opening the line again. This is what's going on in this country, people. This is where we are. This is reality, man.
Sad boy.
This is reality. Take the call,
That
Jeffrey.
boy just saw there. Hello.
Welcome, caller.
Mr. Victor,
Yes, sir.
you see, in the first 5 years, with Miss Primus. When that lady supposed to keep metal in this country, that lady play all around and let that country that didn't. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, and she play all around and let that steel mill close down. And she said not one single worker would never lost a work. Within that 5 years, Trinidad starts slowly perishing. This second 5 years, it is so terrible that the little, you know, when you're talking about that blues, what with children reaching this country, that abuse.
Brother,
and I think the Prime Minister is supposed to stand up and be charged for if that is really going on in this country. And the police are not knowing this kind of thing. I think our Prime Minister is supposed to resign and the President. Have a blessed and wonderful night.
And you know, a lot of the shipping is start up in the schools too.
Brother, I will show some video just now.
All right.
I will show some video just now.
218-776.
Welcome, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Roberts, Corky, Jeffries, and if your daughter there.
Yeah, good.
What I'm hearing, Mr. Roberts, is sickening. Sickening, sickening. Look where our education system has gone to. Because the Rip Van Winkle and the current minister now, it's not only the kids doing that because probably they don't have the resources, their parents are on the breadline. But we have it from the top, you know. I listened recent days ago where there was a joint select committee meeting on the education system, and where it was brought to the forefront that the behavior of some teachers with respect to their pupils and the students was untoward, bordering on pedophiles. And I want to know if that is so, and if the behavior, particularly of the boys, want to become Prime Minister of this country. Because remember, we have a Prime Minister alleged that at one time in his life, that sort of behavior existed, and he eventually became Prime Minister, a male, not a female Prime Minister, a male Prime Minister. I say no more. Mr. Robert, let me ask you something. Last night, you alluded to, or night before that, prior to the protests to tear them all over the country, the police was in your area, your house?
A police vehicle park up from in front. That's not in front. That's a little off my.
Right. Do you
house.
have the phone number of that vehicle? We have to publicize that, you know.
No, well,
you understand what I say? Anytime you get it, look back and find out if anybody see that. We go find out who and where, if it's special branch, if it's the GBE, if it's the ITF, because Jacob say he was spying and thing, you know. He said, no, he a part of that. So you have to get the number and publicize it so Jacob will see how he's sleeping on himself. You know the other thing I hear? As soon as they make it an assistant commissioner, you hear about it?
No.
They changed the whole suite of furniture inside his office. They put a slope for him to sleep to like Fitzroy gone.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. I am telling you. Welcome, caller.
Lower down the volume on the radio, please.
Sorry about that, gentlemen. Yeah, it's me again. Good night. Yeah, what is going on in school? I mean, it's shocking, but it's not surprising because Parliament's supposed to be the highest court in the land, right? And what we getting from Parliament, right? What these politicians doing? They're disrespecting the people. They're lying. You know, so, I mean, what you're left for the schools? I mean, it can give the school children the right to do that. But when these kind of examples set in from the top, I mean, what you're left for the people at the bottom to do?
Thank you, caller.
Yes,
especially.
Thank you, caller. And that is a serious point, you know, caller.
Yeah.
That is a pertinent point you just made there. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
And once more again, I don't hate. I'm a person of love. I love all people. Color, class, creed, race, mixed ethnicity. They all play an important part in where we're going and how we're going. I want a message to the African diaspora in the stronghold of telling them, don't try, or the tricks, lies, and innuendos can better the rest of the country that pay the taxes and money, and all you are saying or doing nothing about that. Or the silence is the money or the leader giving to keep all the silent while other people are coming around you. We are hurt, we are disappointed. They don't care how much you hurt or how much you are disappointed and what you're experiencing. I ask the African diaspora, don't, and it's PNM stronghold, don't play with our minds, don't play with our money. We're going to shut off every cent coming all the way. I do thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. I want to show Archie. Before you show them two clip there, I want to let me take this call coming. Right. I want to show something. And I want to tell her something, before Archie play them two clip. Yeah. I want to tell her something before we go take some call just now. Only hold on 1 second. We go take some call.
All right.
I want all to see, because the caller before make a very pertinent point.
Right.
When we look at the parliament, what is happening, the conduct of the speaker, the conduct of the prime minister, when people stand up to speak on behalf of others, he telling people, why you ain't sit down and shut up? Why you ain't go Guyana or Barbados? And then we have the president, the highest office in this country, mash up, tear up, break up the whole constitution. Watch what is happening by the example of the prime minister, by the example of the president, and by the example of the speaker. These children, they learn by example, and they are now demonstrating what they have learned from these high officials in government places. If these high officials have no respect for law and order, what you expect the children of the country to do? Run it, Archie, run it.
You can log on Facebook on U97.5 FM Facebook page, or you can also tune in on YouTube on douglAR Radio. Take a look.
Archie, run it. I want them to see what is happening in this country.
Also on
Hello, Blues. Hey.
All right, that's as I get it, just give me a thumbs up and let it run. But this is what happening. These children is what they have seen. I know that people write the president and copy it to the media house. And the president said that, oh, look at here. Only watch it. Watch what happening here. This is a school. Watch up there, Corky. Watch the gallery. Watch all the students out. You understand? All the students out for this big fight. You understand? Watch this one. Watch. By Subway. Watch. What's going on? And then have a next one with Fat Boy. I know if I send that one for Archie.
Well, like it started in the school.
Brother, it's real bacchanal in these schools. You hear what I tell you? This is the same school that I'm saying $5 for a kiss and $10 for a squeeze.
And look them in front of the
This
Subway.
is the same school.
No police around at all.
You hear what I'm telling you? This is the same school that marijuana is being sold.
You know, just the other
and
day.
watch, not cutting you.
Yeah.
This is only one school that we have some clippings. But there is others, Corky, watch now. And Hines and them. Boy, hey. Boy, Jeffrey, I know what to say.
And this has been going on all before now, even before the pandemic and stuff. This is going on a long time.
But,
some school children around my area, one of the guy on the pavement, he say, I want to see some fight. So they go into school for that. Look at how they're so cheering that.
He had the clip with Fat Boy? I think you have the clip with Fat Boy, man. You have upseen in that one?
Something definitely wrong. That.
All right.
They should
All
have
right.
some more
Understand.
security-wise and the
Well, we
police
can't play the next one
checking the
because
schools.
it is kind of graphic, so we
Yeah.
can't play the next one, right? But listen, why we are in a real and Heinz talking about UNC want to destabilize the country. Heinz, all your government done destabilize this country already, boy. All you done this destabilize the country. That is what all you do. All you done this destabilize this country since all you took up office, boy. This whole country in a mess, and yet people still playing games and playing dotish. I had to borrow some of Morgan Job words, may God rest his soul. Some of them still playing dotish and I can bankrupt with ideas that all you can see what happening. This whole country, Cocky, this whole country out of control. This is no make believe business, you know.
Which area is this?
You understand?
Wow. What's taking place there?
You can look at it on douglAR Radio, on YouTube, also, or U97.5 FM.
But that is a
Facebook
serious
page.
state. I think it had one in Diego Martin sometime again. I think Anil had shown some recently. The thing spreading like wildfire. It had one where some parents was beating some students also.
Why them children so aggressive, boy?
Who is the Prime Minister?
Yeah.
Keep rolling.
What
is and you ask him how they aggressive?
Yeah. Example is setting, yeah.
Is the mother
What is the next one?
But I tell you, thing out of control.
So, but this been going on for a long time now, forever since in the schools, fight.
Cocky,
the students,
let me tell you
as school
something.
done, they want to see fight.
Cocky, every institution in this country break down. We just, let me tell you something. You know why they keep pushing the police?
Yeah.
They keep pushing the police with anybody who try to highlight the issues.
Yeah.
Is because they know that this country set.
Look one on top of car here.
She running for she life. On top of her car. Running for she life.
What really going on in this country, boy? This is
Cocky, this is what we accepting in our education system. Cocky, there's no law and order. Cocky, when the president and the prime minister could break the law and get away with it, Cocky, what do we expect will happen to the rest of the country? Men chopping down cable, men doing anything, men shooting them one that I high daylight, man robbing, man do anything, Jeffrey and Cocky. When you have the politician who is in government breaching the law, Faris Alwari, laws that require a 3/5 and 2/3, they breach the law and do what they want. They procure with all procurement. They kick the legislation out. Water it down. Watch this one. Watch this one.
school fight again.
Watch this one.
Where is this?
I got boss one, Maxi.
Alright. Is this a security officer or police coming in? Yeah, the police intercept on this one.
But that is a serious.
They have to do more in the schools, you know, because this will get more and more worse.
But it out of hand.
Until somebody come with a weapon or something in.
Cocky,
Yeah.
again here what I'm telling you.
Yes.
It out of hand.
And school now open back.
Yesterday by the gas station in Sipa, an attack high daytime, and watch that.
Look. Oh my God.
Boy, people don't understand what going on in this country, Lord. People not understanding what going on in this country. This country out of control. And that is why
Isn't
the government...
the government is not the one supposed to be taking care and making security-wise in the schools?
Cocky.
Yeah?
Cocky. The MTS guards.
Yes.
Their lives are also being threatened.
Yes.
You have the MTS by the schools. The student
Yeah.
threaten them. A matter of fact, recently, a man, hear me, a man, a student slap up a teacher. You hear what I'm telling you? The female teachers in school, Kokidi, they are fearful. Just recently, there was a video where a individual telling a miss, take out X and show us. Take out Y and show us now. Miss, let me see how X and Y looking. That is what the teachers are frightened. And then there's also the gang leaders, or I should say the want-to-be gang leaders, who will come around the schools on an evening and make certain threats by letting students know, boy, here what happening, when I look come wherever money all they have, hand it over to this boss. And everybody have a name, who is tall boss and short boss and crooked boss. And listen, people on the outside threatening the students. Home and tell mommy, it's gunshot for you, it's bullet for you. And that is what happening. Actually, there is some people who live in by the schools.
Doing about this track? What trouble I seeing here?
Corky, today, I am telling you that the police had to enter the Sipar West School today. And they still couldn't find the students they was looking for. Because there's a gang. Okay? So it's a whole scenario where this country is out of control, Corky. Corky, let me tell you something. We have to understand. We have to understand that things, we open the lines, things doesn't happen by guessing. When the example, you watch Anisette Bridget, Anisette George in the parliament. You watch the speaker of the house, and the speaker is a bully. So if the speaker is a bully, the president of the Senate is a bully, what you expect the children of this country to do? Cocky, let me don't fool yourself. Here what I'm going to tell you. I am telling you that if a man have 4 children and he's a rum drinker, one does always come out a rum drinker. Why?
Yes. So too, if he's a smoker, they take up a little thing and try to smoke too. Let me see what daddy doing there.
You know why?
Yeah.
It's because we set the example. The youths learn by example.
Children live what they learn,
see,
what they live.
What they see.
Yes.
Cocky, if you thieving, if you thieving your children, you're thieving around your children, it will be no problem for your children to start a thief. We have a pride, the 3 most important institutions in this country, which we refer to as the separations of power. All right? Where we refer to the 3 most powerful institutions in this country. And the Constitution show you that there is a separation of power. All right? And the separation of power, those heads abuse, misuse, bully, advantage, beat up, because that's what they do, they beat up, break up the Constitution. What you expect the children of this country to do, Cocky? Cocky, a child wrote to the president, Why would a child write to the president? Why? Let me tell you something.
They know what to do.
These children, they are also, some of them are very intelligent. You hear what I'm saying to you? These children know for a fact that this country, at this present time, Jeffrey, that the country destabilized. This country waiting for anything. Take the call. Anything to happen at any time.
218-7762.
Yes, night to everyone. What I want to say is that from the very beginning, they pipe out the train, they pipe out cocoa and coffee, they pipe out sugar cane. Now the children piping out themselves.
Well.
Have a blessed evening.
Thank you.
This is a serious thing going on in schools, boy. They come into school especially for the fight. They are coming to school to learn anything.
Hello, good night.
Good evening.
To the panel.
Yes.
Which one of the Prime Minister in the Caribbean could give an account for Mr. Selwyn Richardson's death? Because we want to know that, because he was going to say he was going to fight corruption, you say. And since we're already there's a new party, PNCM, People National Corruption Movement.
I call that. I know what they call that talking about there.
Nobody just changing up the initials there.
Now you talk about some other thing with some.
Oh, so another party. Hello?
Yes, good night.
Yes,
caller.
gentlemen. Mr. Robert, your daughter there?
No, she not.
Oh, okay, because I lost some respect and tell you. But anyway, we're actually listening. Good night to you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Mr. Roberts, I forgot to tell you when I make my statement about the factory and the basement talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? I don't know if you remember Pandit told Rahal, he said, you scorch the earth, and the earth will not forgive you. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I think it's either 1 or 2 months after his nephew lost his head. Now, I know reminiscing on that. That is a fact.
Right.
Remember, they were saying it in Orange Valley, it in Colombia, the head come back Caroni, they find it here in a box and all kind of stuff.
Creek, they said it was on the creek floating.
On the creek and all kind of thing. But and then that same day, I don't know because we get on the news, but that same day, they find $800 million in cocaine in a certain percent house down the island.
Yeah, I remember.
The owner of the house said, it is not mine. I rented to them fellas who can buy an ex-jockey shorts.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that?
Yep,
Yes,
you're correct. You're correct.
About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, A.S. Bryden building in Batara satellite from the west. The people who was coming from work had to wind up the glass and right, they get high out of cocaine. It is alleged. But they pick up this man named Edward Corey in St. Augustine, Trin City up there, trying to open a warehouse. And that is the last time the CMA sister says that he don't do here nothing and them kind of drugs business and all kind of thing. Her brother that's dealing goods. I call and ask her on that radio station. Since I know the starting at time to now, nobody kill anybody for alua and onion.
Wow.
That is a drug killing. That killing is for you, madam. You could say what you want. It is alleged the man lost his head because I will tell you something. You know, it's you. When people borrow money from me, it's you. And it's you, it went in receivership or whatever. The people feel they didn't have to pay back, you know, because the company gone through. It's the same thing when the Colombians give it up to the Mexicans. Some people thought they don't have to pay for what they receive, but the Mexican is worse than the Colombian, so some of them lost their head. You understand? Have a nice night, sir.
Thank you, caller. Boy, I am saying that this country, we are at the point, and if we allow it to continue, we will very well reach the point of no return. And I think that is what some people waiting on, you know. I think some people waiting for us to reach the point of no return. So lawlessness will be the order of the day. Because when you have those who are in high office, who continue to demonstrate a high level of lawlessness together with their arrogance, it tells you that, look, to the end of it all, the people in this country, I think they're just waiting for everything else to break down for them to just do what they want to do. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Sir Victor Roberts and the whole crew in the studio. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Good night.
I wanted to put this in the public domain and I will keep it there. Now, we have what is going on in this country right now, Trinidad and Tobago. Do you know this heightened gas price in this country? There's an agenda with this administration. They are fully aware that the UNC is going to come back into office. When you make a hike like that, how any other government is going to try to build back this economy? What we could do? People of Trinidad and Tobago, I want to also know something. I hope my voice still coming across in the area, you know.
Yeah.
Now, hear what is going on. Mr. Enbert I know you have your people listening to the radio station. My brother, let me tell you something. Trinidad and Tobago, well, Tobago out there, Trinidad not sinking with all here, you know. We're not sinking with all here in the corridor here, you know. We're not sinking with all here, you know. Let me tell you something. I shake a little ease up in talks and I watching. When we have clips in this country where our Prime Minister telling everybody richer to get richer, a man telling we ain't riot yet, and we still moving ahead with all them. Let me tell all you something. You black people are talking to your African people now in the corridor. Yeah. When they hear the political bell ring in this country here, and the people make the decision, don't let these political buffoons in the PNM, those dinosaurs, mobilize you all against nobody. Because I know that is the way out for the PNM. They're going to try to mobilize black people to destabilize here.
Of course.
But black people right now, we watching you all. And I want to say to Mr. Murila, I heard him say something on the Monday night program, and then he came back some days after, and he make a next statement. Sorry, we know past me. No, and make a statement after that. Nobody in reply to him, and I find nobody in reply to him, but I like what he said. I'm going to repeat what I heard a politician in my country said. All the questions that the PNM refused to answer in the parliament while they are governing the country to the opposition. Whenever the opposition take office here, those questions supposed to come back and still be a question in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago on any kind of mismanagement and bad expenditure in this country. You see the black charity and the should come back to the state. Because remember, they're plugging every avenue where the government could make money to run country. When I say government, I don't mean PNM. Once you're in office and you win an election here, there's government, there's not no party again.
Right.
I hope I coming across loud and clear to give all the callers to the drum report, everybody, and let's listen to everybody. People, let me tell you something. You know what it is to end up behind Guyana? We behind. We behind. That reminds me of the days when Guyanese used to come here and sell me a set of gold chain with the ego pendants in Forest State when they was booming. We are putting ourselves in a position to please Dr. Rowley and them. Dr. Rowley only is going to get eliminated by the poll. The people who vote only out right now, all the supporters are very wicked, especially the wicked. They ain't telling all the what's going on the ground. People can't wait to come back to the poll to put up with Kamala Pusagi to sign office. They have to this. There we go. Mr. Duke might end up the main opposition in Trinidad and Tobago because there's nothing Mr. Duke and the PNM could do to interfere with the UNC 19C.
Make it plain, caller. Make that plain for them to hear.
There's nothing Mr. Duke and the PNM could do to affect the 19 seats that the UNC have. What Mr. Duke could do, he could end up being the main opposition. And the PNM just sit down in a corner waiting to tell us about all these votes they went and buy and pick up with money. No procurement, nothing at all. No government can do that here. No government can do anything you doing here. You understand? Mr. Patrick Manning, the late Patrick Manning, he took a set of money and a loan and went and built a waterfront in a government campus. A government campus is to hold every ministry, but it's still a ministry sign on private people that live in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? Paying them a rent. What would you pay a rent? What would you pay a rent? We're not trying to save no money. The government can have no time. There's no increase. They set the lower compensation. They set the lower for the people. 10 years. And I want to call by saying this. To the people that you bring to investigate the UNC on corruption, according to Mr. Moody, the people that are ready to go back on their can't find nothing in the opposition. But you're fighting to keep them here to do what? To do what? To do what?
Thank you, my brother.
All right, brother. Good night.
Thank you, my brother, for your contribution. Thank you. Well, this is a time where the people have to take Heinz's advice. Well, if I say the UNC, if he say the UNC wanted to destabilize the country, I think it's about high time that people take your advice. Yeah, it's about high time. Take your advice and come out and call for fresh elections, because I am telling you folks, there is not much further we could go. And every day that passes, I am saying to you that it's going to get worse. Every day that passes, it will get worse in this country. The school fights will continue. The next statistic might very well be you. The robberies will continue. The cutting down of all the copper lines will continue. Every aspect of crime will increase, and it all complements this government. Because when you have a government that brought to the table nothing but hardship, remove all that you had, all that you could have had, all forms of sustenance, or sustenance for a better word, and have you at the point where you are now in the stage of dependency. Every van that pass, you hope it's a van passing to give away something.
Yeah.
This is what will eventually happen in this country. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, so one more time again, with due respect,
Go ahead.
I want to send a message to in the PNM stronghold for years. I want to tell them and let them know how great thou art. I thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. So this is what will be happening. Take the call. The lines are open, 218-7762. Welcome, caller.
Victor, this is Teasdale here, boy.
Well, Teasdale, I say since I play them clip for you, you let me go, boy. Since I play them clip for you, let me go, boy. I call your name hard.
I hear when you did it, but
go ahead, brother, go ahead.
I in the background because I lie down here and I listening.
Yeah.
Listening. I appreciate that. Because you left me with the impression you just take advice now, especially meaningful advice.
I hear you, brother.
Now, put this in a biblical perspective for me.
Go ahead.
Right? Now, according to the Bible, as it relates to the children, them, they are dubbed in the Bible as a generation of viper. Right? A viper is a deadly poisonous snake, a venomous snake. And the Bible equates a generation like unto such. He went on to say that heaven and earth shall pass away before one of my word not come to pass. All that we see is happening here is the revelation of what was recorded as it relates to the scripture, Christian teaching, the Bible. Right? The President Paula May Weeks, she is equivalent like onto the book of Revelation, where the woman that sat upon the beast that having 7 heads and 10 horns, she is the woman on top of the beast. The beast is the system, the political system. That is the beast. Rowley, I understand from Mr. Robert Amar that Rowley is wearing a crucifix around his neck, telling himself, well, remember he said somebody touched his shoulder, right? So that crucifix that he wearing around his neck here represents represents Judas. Rowley is the representative of Judas. But he is more than just the representative of Judas. Because based on what he said concerning Likoto and what he did, etc., he's an agent of Lucifer. Right? He's an agent of Lucifer. All of what is happening currently has to happen
according to biblical teaching. And like I say, heaven and earth shall pass away before one of my words come to pass. There was a time back in the Bible where God was dealing directly with the people. But the people find that God was too strict, so they wanted a king. So God stepped aside and God gave them a king. What do you think the king is? The king is this political system. We now come out of the Easter, etc., etc. Another Christian observation, and that leads us up to the crucifixion of Jesus the Christ. Right? So all that is happening now. Man can fix that, Victor. We can fix that. 1,000 years in the eyes of man is an evening gone in the eyes of God, which is one day. Right? And that is 1,000 years. He says that Satan is bounded for 1,000 years, and then he will be released to roam the earth for a little while, and then he will be bounded again. So all of this that is happening here, man can control nothing. Man can control nothing. I watching the division with the political arena. Watch what happened on the 16th. I didn't attend. I guess you attended because I hear your name was called on another program that you was there. I hear Miss so-called Santa Cruz. Well, I have a bone to pick with she, but I ain't gonna pick that bone now. Right? She said, well, you was present there. Now, Mr. Amar is totally displeased about the behavior, or I should say the inaction of the UNC. Right? And as such, of his displeasure, I realize it have a fracture, no unity. Now, the 16th was the pushback movement, but I think it's yesterday, if me making a mistake, the 19th, the UNC came out to protest. Had the UNC, and I'm not saying that there are not UNC members that didn't participate in the pushback movement, but had the UNC bundle had joined forces with the pushback movement on the 16th, it would have a great impact in numbers. The UNC came out and they had the demonstration. What kind of numbers? So if they had joined forces on the 16th, you find on the 19th when they had their foot on the ground, the numbers would have been much more different. I remember telling you the last time we spoke.
Don't like to talk, but you I want to talk to.
Right. The last time we spoke, I tell you, after the 16th, we will watch and see what is happening. Nothing is happening. The gas price raised, the man laughing at me, they're doing what it is they want, and I will pause there for now. Let me hear what it is you have to say.
All right. Diesel, before you make this contribution tonight, I always look at you as an intelligent fella. I've been real with you because I heard us talk. But after this contribution tonight, I ain't feeling so intelligent again. And I want to tell you why. Koki hold on the call so now. I want to tell Diesel why. Because my partner. And if my partner, feel my partner in talking with some intelligence, then I must tell him why I feel so. So let me back up first. You tell me about 4 things that you want me to put in a biblical context. You speak about Rowley, whatever you believe he is, and the president, whatever she's sitting on, and whatever, right? So be that as it may, I think you put that in your biblical context. But you come and you tell me that what is happening today, nobody can fix that. Man can fix that. So if you're telling me man can fix that, why we just don't lie down on the highway and dead? Because if you're telling me what is happening in the country, it is, or in the world, a matter of fact, it's biblical, and therefore we can do nothing about that. So then why you wanted me to come out, why you want the UNC to come in the pushback? I just asking. So you say man can't fix nothing, we can't do nothing about that, right? But you tell me on the same time that you wanted me to come out. So let me help fix that too. The United National Congress is the opposition of this country. I have heard, and I ain't really want to go there, you know. I ain't want to go there. But I will take it from this perspective. The United National Congress is the opposition of this country. In other words, it is a government that is in waiting. All right? That is the UNC. Kamla Prasad Bisesa make 100,000 million calls that all welcome. Come and join the People's Revolution and let us fight together. You see, I am not going to get involved in people's ambitions. I am not going to get involved in people's egos. But the United National Congress is the opposition. And whenever the United National Congress see it fit to take any strategic action in this country, that is what it's going to be. The United National Congress doesn't depend on a radio station or a union or anybody. A matter of fact, anybody, any institution, to give them directive as to how to protest, when to protest. The United National Congress quite capable at dealing with every situation in this country, every God-given situation. So when you're telling me that on one hand, what's happening here, we can't do nothing about it, but then on the other hand, you're telling me that the UNC should join, push back or push forward or whatever you want to call it, then I see you making much sense with that conversation. That is my position. What do you think, Jeffrey?
No, I believe you say it in a nutshell. But in the end of the talk, the caller was hinging on what they call the hindsight bias, where it is he said could have make a positive outcome if they didn't think. We would have never known that. Nobody would have never known that. That is impossible for you to know it from in the beginning. But you could only play know it afterwards. It happened already. And you could operate just how the caller may have expressed his comment just now. Nobody could have known. And in a nutshell, what I believe is that if everybody come together and put aside egos, as they say, if we put aside the ego and make a stance, a final stance, and say this is not what we take in. Because what I would have understand is that a lot of PNM, oh God, I live in a PNM area, plenty of them I would have been talking to, and a lot of them is suffering in silence because a black man is president, is prime minister, sorry. They decide to eat, sleep, and to drink the suffering that they're feeling, all because a black man is prime minister. They're suffering in silence. Some of them the same way, they ain't get no hamper, nothing. They ain't get no alleviation, nothing. And they're suffering, but they ain't saying nothing. Look, last night when I was in Sando, they done drop them off there. A man see me, he say, boy, you know, I observe the little protest that we had in Library Junction there. And he say, boy, you know, I'm supporting this 100. But you see that yellow? Don't put on that. I say, brother, you wicked to yourself for. You seeing that this thing affecting you, but we telling me, let us show you what the mind of people is. They're taking the pressure and they're hushing them out because it's probably not how to put it across, because it's not the PNM that because of wind protests.
You're correct.
The wind do it. So when the opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa decided to make a move like that, it's not just for UNC. It's for you, the silent ones, that when we done or you come into we like, let me take a page out of Teasdale book like Nicodemus. You know, he come with some Bible tonight. and coming to we easy night, you know. What you're doing is the correct thing. But you know, we's PNM and Rowley's the man who set it up so we can't go out in public and say that. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people suffering in silence, and I telling you something. I know some of you have or your job and the PNM boy and or you can't come out and protest with me and come out and say anything. But when that day come, or you make the correct decision. We know the threatening here because, oh God, or you tell me, you remember what they say on the block? They say they ain't coming. And we know why, but they're supporting it. Or you know when that day come, and it's time to dip or your finger. There'll be no hypocrite on that day.
So what about when they see things happening now and they want to run come now?
When they see things come, no, well, yeah, we welcome everybody, you know. We opening we hand with love. Right. With love.
For latecomers too?
Yeah, latecomers and all. You and all come in. Yeah. So all the early comers and them, don't dig no harass because we know what's going on with them. But underneath a certain form, I see some of them lost in, as I say, at 10 days. Yeah, 10 days. Imagine a man working at 10 days and they telling a man if he protests, he ain't have no 10 days. You see what's going on?
Where leave he to do now? To go and look for a God?
No, where leave him to do is to go and thief copper.
Yeah.
You understand? To chop down TSTT line.
To walk on line.
To walk on the line. You understand? You see how people going through? A man, boy, since I small, they tell me don't touch the line. I don't even touch the supporting line that coming down. Line, yeah. We don't even touch that. And a man so desperate. And I cannot say the man will probably get shocked. I know the situation, but he was hungry for about 2 or 3 days. And that is the only choice. He go up on that line and he take. That's what's going on now, you know?
Yeah, but for a man to climb a post, I mean, we have 4 minutes left, right? For a man to climb a post, Kokidi,
yeah,
knowing,
yeah, we know that,
that I ain't bound to come down in the night, in the dark, and climbing a T&Tech post, because plenty of the lines pass through the T&Tech pole also, right? We have some B-mobile poles and so on, TSTT, but they hook up, some of them hook up on the... For a man to take a chance and say, boy, you see me, I had to cut that piece of wire tonight. Boy, let me tell you something.
To eat.
Yeah. You see all of them who cutting copper line? Again, all that easy work. Again, all that easier work. All of them who cutting them copper line and risking all their life to go up on them pole, I want all to go by Rowley. Go by Rowley house. Go down by go St. Anne's. By Rowley office. And stand up there. Night and day. And call for election. And here what I'm telling you. When the bell ring and we beat Rowley out of office, again, some of you are going to show some of you get work to run back. Some of them wire away all cut. Don't laugh now, man. Don't laugh now, man, Jeffrey. And we can show some of them get work. To run back. Some of them wire. And I mean why we have a little human side of that. It's a serious thing, Koki. For a man to risk his life to go up on top of a pole that hour the night to try to cut a cable to get a few dollars. Whether it's
balling boy.
And watch out, sometimes we know, you know, sometimes we pass close to a transformer, we hear that thing like an angry bean.
Yeah.
Buzzing like if we don't even want to go close.
Yeah.
People we know them thing.
So ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you to tune in to U97.5 douglAR Radio tomorrow from 6:30 Koki, because I know we have the Islamic things to do from 6:30. You will be able to be in tune with TNT Speaks. Yours truly will be there, and about 3 numbers of other speakers will be coming to you. I believe it is in the Williamsville area tomorrow, and you could tune in from as early. On social media, you could tune in from 6:15, but the radio station should start to carry it from 6:30. You could tune in to douglAR, Politics, UNC, YouTube, and all the various platforms as TNT speaks tomorrow afternoon. So that is it for us here. We want to tell you thanks to all the callers for your contribution. We welcome them. We ask you to continue to stay strong. My boy Teasdale, you know we good. We staying good.
Yeah.
When you have to give me blows, give me, because when I have to give you blows, I'm taking off your shirt.
Yeah, come good.
Yeah, I'm making sure you get bare back Teasdale, boy. I know you lie down on that bed, you know, you're saying, oh Lord, boy. So Teasdale, let me take the last call. You're taking this last call?
Nah, boy, last child, take the scale, mother, boy.
Right,
Last child, let's kill him, mother.
Cocky said time out, time up. So stay blessed, stay safe. We out of here.
All right.